Hi, good afternoon, everybody. How are all of you? Assalamualaikum. So today we are back after 2 weeks hiatus on Doctors Go Live. This is Klang Dietitian Facebook. So we'd like to say hello and welcome to the show. So today we are going to be talking about diabetic diets. So let me just read a bit of the introduction. The diet of a patient suffering from diabetes is unlike others. Obviously, choices of food and drinks are limited as some ingredients can be detrimental to your health. I think most of us already know this lah. However, this does not mean that you can only eat bland and boring food. Most of the time it would be about portion size. So since I'm not an expert in this, we have an expert in the house. So we will be talking to Columbia Asia Hospital Klang Dietitian, Miss Tin Mei Yan. Hi, Miss.
Hello everyone. Good afternoon to you, and welcome
Good
to my
afternoon.
session. Yeah,
Thank you
welcome to
so
my
much for
session
being here with us.
again.
Okay, as we all know, November is actually Diabetes Awareness Month. So that's why we are having this topic today. And we would like to talk to you, Miss Tin, about this new diabetic diet as you had suggested. So first of all, maybe you would like to say a few words to start off the program.
Yeah, sure. So we know that last week actually is our World Diabetes Day. So I'm very happy and glad that I can share some nutrition information with you over here in managing your blood sugar. Because nowadays, diabetes mellitus has become a silent killer, and more
Yes.
young people is getting diabetes mellitus at a very young age. So
Yeah.
we should take notes on that one and let us do some precaution by getting more knowledge on it. Yeah.
Yes, that's very worrying actually, because I think a lot of people have sweet tooth, like yours truly. So what about you? Do you like to eat sweet things?
I think there will be a lot of people like sweet things,
Yeah.
and moderation is very important. Yeah, because sometimes we living and eating is also for pleasure, but we
Mm.
need to understand that moderation and the quantity is very important. With that, we need to bear in mind that there must be some balance with it.
Okay, so that's the keyword lah, balance. Balance, portion, quantity control. Okay, so I believe that we are going to be taking a look at some slides that you have prepared. Maybe you would like to explain a normal digestive process of a human being. Let's take a
Yeah,
look.
sure. Yes. So to understand and manage this diabetes mellitus, and we need to know how it works actually. So
Mhm.
under a normal digestive process, after eating, food is break down and
Okay.
starches are digested and release the glucose. So
Okay.
glucose will remain in the bloodstream until it is used by our body cells. So over here, there is a diagram. So this diagram actually very clearly explain that how the food is digested and then producing the sugar, which is the S, and with the help of the pancreas producing the insulin, and insulin will help to unlock the tissue, and the tissue can help to use up the glucose for energy. Okay, so next slide.
Okay, so this one will tell us about maintaining normal blood sugar level. Is that right?
Correct, yes. So we understand that after we eat, food will be break down, glucose will be produced,
Yeah.
and how our body actually maintaining a normal blood sugar. A
Okay.
normal, after we eat, the high blood sugar will be trigger the
Mm.
pancreas to produce the insulin, and the
Mhm.
insulin helps to transport the glucose into the tissue cell and use for energy production. And what happens if our body does not produce enough insulin or the cells ignore the insulin? Next, then yeah, if the insulin is not enough or the insulin is not sensitive, the
Yeah.
glucose cannot be used up, and then the glucose will be built up in the blood, and this will lead to high blood sugar, or we call it diabetes mellitus.
I
Yes.
see.
Okay, so it's a
Okay.
very simple concept. Yeah,
Okay.
and
So
we
this
come.
is the topic for today lah. This is the crux. What is diabetic diet?
Yes. So for to manage your diabetes mellitus, we have a dietary plan. And this plan, we modify the total calorie need, the carbohydrates, fats, and proteins based on the individual needs or any underlying illness, right? And most importantly, in this diet, the carbohydrate intake itself is actually divided evenly throughout the day so that it's easier for you to control your blood sugar. And on top of that, you also need a high fiber intake as well as reducing your simple sugar and reducing your saturated fat intake. And this dietary plan actually will be affected by your age and then your body weight, your growth needs, physical activity, exercise, and
What about
also
gender? If you are a male or female?
yes,
In terms
correct. Yeah, gender also will be affected. Also is a factor of it, and also any other underlying health condition. It also will affect this diabetic diet.
Okay.
All right.
So can I ask you, like, is it men or women who tend to who tend to gain weight easily? Which one gains weight easier?
Actually,
Or
in my opinion over here, I can see that both gender is equally the same. You, yeah, if one cannot control their diet well, or having like some problem or issue on it, then it's quite easy to gain weight and also put you on risk for this diabetes.
yeah. Okay, so there you go. These are the things that that influence our diet, our age, weight, and all that. So
Yeah.
what next thing that we are going to look at? What can we reduce or avoid in order for us
Correct.
to be healthier?
Yeah. So we need to know that in order to control this diabetic diet,
Yeah.
have a good to have a good control of blood sugar, we need to have reduced or avoid some food that having a very high in simple sugar. Like what
Yeah.
we showing over here, some of the high sugar food like ice cream, cakes, fast food, and then
Yeah.
carbonated drinks,
Crowd favorites.
and also some our traditional delicacy. So all
Yeah.
these are containing very high in sugar
Yes.
and
Yes.
simple
That's right.
carbohydrates. So one will need to avoid it or reduce your intake. Yeah,
Okay. And now we're going to be talking about the serving sizes.
correct. So for the portion wise, apart from reducing the food that we already know, we also need to understand and manage the portion size, the amount per serving in a day, especially for carbohydrate food. Okay, so over here, let me show you the serving size and the carbohydrate intake in a day. So over here, there is a total of four serving in a day.
Yeah.
So you can see like breakfast, lunch, and dinner is having a similar amount of carbohydrates, as well as sometime you might have your tea, afternoon tea also. We will also allocate some carbohydrate over there. So it is quite similar for each meal. Yeah, and this example actually is suitable for ladies, which is active
Oh.
and doing some exercise and also having some diabetes issue, high blood sugar. Just an
Yeah.
example for
Which
you.
one is suitable for ladies? The one at the top or the bottom?
Actually, both are okay, depending on
Both
your
as well.
lifestyle, your activity, and of
Yeah.
course your exercise level. All right. And because today we are discussing about this specific diabetes disease, so if you're having any problem, any issue, you can surely come over to us. We will design a specific menu for you, which is tailored to you. Yes, because not everyone is the same. I'm over here is just showing an example whereby it is like try to manage your carbohydrate intake. So next slide. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So this slide is a total serving of 7.
Yeah.
You can see there is a similar amount of carbohydrates intake in a day. And this one obviously is suitable for male, which is an active meal, that you are doing some exercise as well. Of course,
Why is this suitable for meals?
because the carbohydrate intake actually is having more than before. All right.
Okay,
And
is this because there's an additional meal time, which is the morning tea?
correct. Additional of morning tea, afternoon tea, and also the pre-bed snack. Yeah, it's an additional because we take into account that you are having some exercise and you are active as well. Of course, it will be affected by the age and any other underlying diseases also. Yeah. So we are actually, this one actually is for an example. All right. Let's say you're having some high blood sugar issue, and then some high blood pressure or high cholesterol or any heart problem, then I will strongly advise you to come over to meet us, and we will share some more on the nutrition information, and especially we design a tailored meal plan for you. All right, because this one is only for a guideline. Yeah, just let you to visualize how it look like, because in order to have a comprehensive good blood sugar control, you need to understand the portion size, especially number one, and number two, you will need to have like a similar amount of carbohydrate for each meal. Yeah, so when you have a similar amount of carbohydrate of each meal, this is very important, because it's like helps your body to producing a similar amount of insulin, similar amount of like chemical processes, everything.
I see.
Yes, helps you to maintain back your blood sugar level. And of course, when you have this high blood sugar issue, sometimes you may need to take some medication as well. So the medication part, you also need to take as needed, or do not neglect it. It is very important as well. All right.
Okay.
We come to the next slide. Okay, so over here, as we mentioned before, I will show you what is the proper serving size for each food category: carbohydrates, protein, fruits and vegetables, milk and milk products, and also fat. Okay. Come to the next
This is
slide.
the one that is what, suku-suku setengah. I think that poster, it's a Kementerian Kesihatan poster, which is quite famous these days. Everywhere you go, if you go to cafeterias, you can see that poster. It's a plate, but it's divided into half and then 2 quarters.
All right. Yes, correct.
Oh, okay. Maybe
So
you can explain that.
yeah. So for this one, most importantly, we need to understand and get to know what is the serving size of carbohydrate. So a serving size for carbohydrate is following your fist size lah. It is following your fist size. All right. So if you are taking rice, it will be 2 scoop of rice, and then if you are taking meat, 2/3 cup of meat. Chapati or toast will be 1 pieces, and if you're taking biscuits, it's around like 6 pieces like that lah, without cream, without any sugar, and a wholemeal bread 2 pieces or a piece of bun. So this is a standard serving size of a carbohydrate lah. All right.
Okay, and this is especially for diabetics.
It is okay for diabetic.
For everyone.
For general, for everyone, also okay. Yes. Yeah. Next.
Okay, what's next?
All right.
Still on the subject of carbohydrates.
Correct. Yes, we are still in carbohydrates. So for this one, actually is referring to the starchy vegetables and legumes. So these starchy vegetables also consider part of the carbohydrate category. And if you are taking like 1 serving, let's say if you are taking like small potato, it will be a small size of potato, around 2 pieces. And I even put a grammage over there, 150 gram. And if like a chickpea will be 2/3 cup, and then a dal will be 2/3 cup, and then a piece of corn like that, not just a usual size, right? So this you also need to take into account for your carbohydrate intake.
All right.
Okay. So
this one I think is quite interesting, because a lot of people, they think carbohydrate is just carbohydrate, but it's actually there are types of carbohydrates. So let's hear what you have to say about this.
Correct, exactly. So after we know and we understand the portion size, the serving size, the types of carbohydrates itself also play an important role. we encourage you to take more on the complex carbohydrate, which is very high in fiber and nutrients. Your body will work harder to digest, and energy will release over a longer period of time, and this will keep your blood sugar at a steady level. And most importantly, it will help you to feel full longer. So as compared to simple carbohydrates, it is different. It is totally different because simple carbohydrates containing low in fiber and nutrients, it will digest quickly into the body, and this will spike up the blood sugar. If you do not use it as an energy, it will easily convert it into fats. So this explains why sometimes a lot of us maybe we are not taking a full heavy meal like what we mentioned before, like that one suku separuh. We are not taking a healthy set of meal, but we may tend to take a lot of like traditional delicacy, pastries, or sweet things, sweet food. So all this it looks little and simple, but actually it is simple carbohydrates. And if you are not active at that time or you are not doing exercise enough, it will easily convert it into fat. And then after a while, you will find out that suddenly you gain weight. Yeah. So this is
okay. So that's one instance. What if that person, if he or she takes all these sweet food and then they exercise a lot? So does that mean that they will not become fat if every time they take something sweet and then they exercise, so they burn calories? Is that something that happens or
all right.
on
So
weight?
theoretically, you can say like that, but actually, in our reality, our body reaction is different. So even if you are taking a lot of like simple carbohydrates, but if you are active, sometimes this is not a good choice as well because it might cause your body reaction to be different, and then your blood sugar control will be not good as well. It's like your blood sugar level is not stable, we call, because when you taken simple carbohydrate, the blood sugar will spike up very high, and then it will drop very fast also. So when it drop very fast, it will make you very hungry very fast. Then you will tend to eat a lot of like other food and some junk food or things like that. So as compared to complex carbohydrate, because it give you energy release a longer period, you will feel full for a longer time. So this is better actually. Of course, exercise is also very important because
Yeah.
it helps to regulate your metabolism rate. So we still encourage you to take more on the complex carbohydrate, the whole grain products, for example.
Okay. What are these complex carbohydrates other than the ones that we know, like, which is rice and potatoes? Because I hear that vegetables are also carbohydrates, so some of them. Which ones are?
Yes, yes. So mostly complex carbohydrate like whole grain products, your
Mhm.
brown rice, and then whole grain bread, whole grain biscuit, whole
Yeah.
grain pasta, and then some of the starchy carbohydrate, and then this is also considered. Yeah. So can try to include it into your diet or make some changes.
Okay. All right. So let's take a look at what's next, which is protein.
Yeah. Next. All right. So we come to the protein part. So for a diabetic patient, in terms of protein, the meat wise, we also need to take into account. And for protein part, we are encourage you the portion will be following a palm size lah. Yeah, a palm
Yeah.
size, one drumstick or two matchbox of chicken breast or two
Okay.
pieces of eggs. Yeah, so
Right.
this is following a palm size. Okay, next. Okay, so how about fish? Fish also similar, also following your palm size as well. And like
Yeah.
one piece of fish and one medium size of fish, around 80 gram like that. Oh, I have put some grammage over there, so you can also refer lah. It's just a rough idea.
Okay.
All right.
This is interesting. Yeah.
This is interesting.
Healthy
Uh,
cooking methods.
Correct. Apart from the food itself, the cooking method itself also play a very important role. Try
Yeah.
to choose a healthy cooking method. Whenever you see the visible fat, you trim off, you choose the lean meat only, and then you diversify the cooking method. Next, like poaching,
Right.
steaming, grilling, or even boiling. So all this actually is a low fat cooking method. For those who want to lose some weight, want to control your blood sugar level,
Yeah.
or having some other issue, also you can also try this healthy cooking method. Try to do some changes.
Yeah. But if you grill, you will need a bit of fat lah, a bit of oil or butter. I mean, as compared to the rest, because that one you just need water or steam.
Yeah, but it's still considered low fat. So
Right.
it's
Okay.
okay. So we come to these fruits and vegetables.
All right.
It is also very important component in your diet as well because it gives you satiety and fiber. We encourage you to have more and diversify in terms of color, types, and also texture.
Yeah.
And actually, a lot of our clients will say that, hey, you are diabetic, you shouldn't take a lot of fruits because fruits also very sweet, isn't it? And I can tell you that actually this is not true. Even a diabetic patient also, you can have fruits, but you just need to follow the quantity and the amount of the portion size. If you following the quantity, the portion size, then actually it is no problem, no issue for you to take fruits. All right.
Okay.
So next.
Sorry, Misty, what about let's say if there's cake and chocolate, I know it's not good, but if you go to a birthday party and there's some cake and you would like to have some, and then you have diabetes, does that mean you can just have a little bit or not at all? If we're talking about control being the keyword here.
I see. All right. So ideally, I would recommend do not take it lah. Right.
Okay.
But if really you need really need to take it, all right, you take a small portion, a small quantity, and then maybe after all, you finish your gathering, your event, then you go for some exercise, or just do a
Okay.
bit more exercise. Yeah, just have to burn extra the sugar intake that you just taken just now.
Okay. So that you don't have to starve yourself from, the
Yeah.
delightful thing in life. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
Next.
Yeah. Wait a moment. This one actually is the fruit serving for the each of the fruits.
Right.
So for fruit serving, you can also follow your feast lah. This is also similar. One feast also. For example, you are allowed to have one medium of apple, one medium of orange, and
Okay.
for papaya,
For one day?
watermelon. For one serving, one time you eat. Yeah, for one serving.
Once a week.
Usually, no. One serving. One serving means together
One
with your
serving.
lunch or together with your dinner. Yes.
So that means you can have how many servings of fruits in a day?
Two serving. All right. Two
Two
serving
servings.
a day, correct? But you cannot take it all together. You got to be separated. Meaning that one serving with your lunch, one serving with the dinner. Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Isn't that too little? Aren't you supposed to have like 5 types of different fruits a day?
That is together with the vegetables because
I
vegetables
see.
will be 3 serving. Vegetables is 3 serving. Fruits is 2 serving.
I see.
Yes.
Okay. So that counts as well lah, under one category. Okay. All right.
Correct. It's under one. So there is one fruits. There is some fruits that you need to take into account, whereby let's say like langsat, longan, duku, or grapes,
Right.
which is very small in size. The one
Okay.
serving is around 8 pieces only. Yes. So try not to take more than that. And most of us will be having easily tend to take more of it. For example, at one go you might tend to finish 1 kilo of grape or 2 kilo of longan like that. So this is not encouraged. It's too
Can
much.
durian be a part of this?
Durian basically the sugar content actually is not that much, but
Oh,
we are
okay.
not. It's just similar to other fruit.
Oh,
But then we
so it's
encounter
very high.
yeah. But
Mm.
however, we encounter a lot of clients that after
Right.
taking the durian, the blood sugar is still maintained very high. So we try to take note on that one and try to avoid it as well. What I will recommend is try to cut down all the durian and try not to go like durian festival whereby you can eat all you can of the durian. So it's,
Yeah. So again, it's about portion control lah.
it is very risky for them actually.
I see. So let's just stick to the fruits that are here and similar fruits.
Similar fruit. So this is safer.
Class
Correct.
of its
Right. Then we go
Right.
for the next one. And then for vegetable wise, we also encourage you to take more on vegetables. Like if you cook vegetables, it will be around half cup like that. If for raw
Yeah.
vegetables, around 1 cup like that. And usually for these vegetables, we will recommend you to take as much as possible, a handful or more on like leafy vegetables. Excluded the before one, the starchy vegetables, excluded that one. Leafy vegetables, you can take more of it lah. Okay.
Okay. So we're not talking about, we are talking about carrots and all that lah. When you say starchy vegetables, for example,
Like small potato and then yam,
those are carbs.
yeah, beans, corn, lentils.
So
All
don't
these are
include
starch.
that as vegetables.
Okay, next.
Milk.
So, yeah, for milk and milk products, so try to take within the serving also. It is a very good food, like low-fat milk, or in terms of a milk powder will be 4 tablespoons. Cheese, you can have 2 slices, and then yogurt, you can have three over quarter, 3/4 cup of this, but I can give some leeway lah. You can just finish 1 cup only lah. Yeah. So this is also you need to follow also lah.
Okay.
All right. Then we come to the
Of milk or milk products a day, would you recommend?
yes, correct. I also recommend on that one.
Once a day? One serving a day?
One serving a day is okay. It's recommended also.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. How
So
about fat then?
yeah, for fat category, the rule of thumb is really following your thumb. Which is as little as possible. Yeah, is following your thumb as well. So limit the fat intake as much as possible, especially those fat like saturated fat from the coconut milk, animal fat, and then trans fat, hard margarine or any processed food like burger, nugget, sausage, or we try to reduce it as well and replace it with unsaturated fat, which is a healthy choice like olive oil, sunflower oil, avocado, nuts. Yeah, so these are healthy choice of fats that you can try to insert it into your diet. So it will be very good.
All right.
All right.
Okay, it's the famous poster.
Yeah, correct. This is what we always encourage. We always recommend. In English, we call it quarter, quarter, half, or we call suku separuh. Yes.
Okay.
So we have already know about all the serving size, the portion size in terms of the carbohydrates, fats, proteins, or other food category. So what it will be look like when we put into the plate? It will be similar to this suku separuh, whereby quarter of it will be from the whole grain product, and then quarter of it will be from the protein, and then half of the plate actually is from the fruits and vegetables. And specifically vegetables, we need more lah. Try to take more on the vegetables part.
Can diabetics go without carbohydrates totally? Can they just depend on protein and fiber, or they need carbohydrate?
See, actually, no, you cannot go without carbohydrate. We not encourage you to totally exclude carbohydrate at all. We not encourage you to do that because anyhow your body will still need sugar, or you still need sugar to survive. Yes. So if you totally go without carbohydrate, you might experience hypoglycemia, which is a low blood sugar level. This is very risky. Yeah.
Okay. So the body will not use up the fat that you already have.
Actually the body will use up the fat as well as energy production, but it will take some time. In order for the body to burn the fat, it will first burn the sugar first. But in the time that you do not have sugar, So that period you will be very uneasy, like shivering, and then feeling like want to faint, or sometimes very hungry as well. So
Yeah, because
this,
you are referring to sugar that is from carbohydrates like, and not processed sugar. That's not going to be doing the same job.
yeah,
Or
it's
can it
different.
also be?
So after all,
Mm.
that period we call it hypo. Then
Mm.
you only will go because your body will recognize that period. Oh, now we have no sugar. Then
Yeah.
only they wait for the fats to burn the fat. Yeah. So
Okay.
that period actually is different people having different period of that time lah. Certain people they
Mm.
can just say, hey, I'm okay. I'm totally fine. I do not feel dizziness. I'm not hungry. I can still uh, survive. I can continue
Yes.
my work. It's okay.
Mm.
But certain people they cannot. Oh, so it will put them very risky. So try not to
Mm.
do that one lah. At least even if you are diabetic, try to go
Mm.
for similar amount of carbohydrate intake in each meal. This is very
Okay.
important.
So we do need carbohydrates after all. So again, it's portion control and what type of carbohydrate that you consume. Okay, so it looks like we've come to the end of the slides, and there you go. Take-home
All right.
message. Okay, this is
Yeah.
something that you end
All right.
with.
So my take-home message for every one of you actually is, it is depend on you that everybody actually is deserved to have a good health, and the
Yeah.
choices is yours. Let us maintain a high quality and active lifestyle with healthy eating
Mm.
and a balanced diet. Over
Yeah.
here, I have shared some of the tips with you.
Yeah.
Then you can pick up some tips which is feasible with you to practice
Mm.
in your lifestyle, in your diet. Be it
Mm.
like reducing your simple sugar, or reducing oily food, or eat more vegetables, or do more exercise. All this
Right.
actually is very important, because at the
Okay.
end of the day, you just need to make a set changes, a small change, and then give
Yeah.
yourself around like 2 or 3 months. Then definitely you see some improvement in terms of your health condition, because you
Okay.
are what you eat actually. Okay.
Okay. All right. So we hope that all of you have learned something new today, or maybe just a revision or a reminder about what food to take and how much to take. Okay, whether you are diabetic or not, I think listening to your advice just now, it does sound like it's also something that we all can practice and not just diabetics, right?
Right.
Okay. Okay. Anyway, oh hi, Mr. Barjish Paul. Okay, we've got one question here. No, Mr. Barjish Paul is our regular viewer. Just waiting for him to come in just now. Okay, there's a question from Mr. Muhammad Aiman Hakim. May I take coffee or tea with whipped cream? I assume if this person was diabetic.
I see. Right. So if coffee or tea itself actually is no problem, but
Mm.
whipped cream, you may not taste very sweet, but the
Mm.
fat content is very high. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the fat content you need to take notes,
Okay.
because at the end of the day, if you're taking a lot of oily food, it will put you
Mm.
on weight gain, and then it make your insulin become not sensitive.
Mm.
So in the long term, you need to do some adjustment lah. Maybe you can make some changes, like mix
Okay.
your coffee with low-fat milk. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a better choice also. Of course, the taste is a bit different lah. We will say
Yeah, of course.
it's different. Yeah, it's not the same,
Yeah.
but
All the good
it's
stuff,
much
they always
healthier.
taste better. All the
Much
fattening stuff, they always taste better. Well,
okay.
you choose then in between delicious food and health, a little bit, just as Miss Christine was saying just now. Okay, hope that answered your question, Mr. Muhammad. We've got a question here from Miss Cecilia Chong. Can a diabetic eat honey? Yeah, actually, a lot of people they tend to eat honey as a replacement for sugar.
I see. So for I would say that actually a diabetic should not should reduce, or we can say avoid the honey as well, because the honey actually is categorized as a simple sugar. It's a simple carbohydrate. It the sugar size, the component molecular size is small, and it is similar to the brown sugar, white sugar, all those. So if you want to take, then you need to take with cautious, all right? And if can, you just take out, remove it.
So it's not like brown sugar is healthier than white sugar or honey is healthier than brown sugar?
All right. Actually, we cannot say it's healthier because in the terms of controlling this blood sugar, it is the carbohydrates that we need to take into concern. So in terms of carbohydrates, the honey and the white sugar or the brown sugar, if they're in a similar amount, their content actually is just similar, which is in the simple carbohydrates category. The only thing make them healthy actually is they have extra vitamins and minerals for honey and the brown sugar that makes it the color brown. So it's a little bit different because got the extra minerals and vitamins as compared to the white sugar. But in terms of carbohydrate wise, it is just similar. So it will still do the same effect, whereby it will still raise up your blood sugar.
And no difference. Thanks for clearing up that myth, because I think a lot of people have the impression that honey is healthy, but honey is being pushed as a health product. Okay, this is a question by Ms. Hidayah Sama. Can a diabetic patient practice a low-carb diet?
All right. So low carbohydrate diet. For this one, the question is very specific actually. If you are a diabetic patient, I would recommend that you come over to meet us dietitian so that we will help you to design a menu plan for you, because not everyone suitable for low carb diet. Certain person, not everyone is suitable, but some person they may need a low carb diet so that they can have a well control of their blood sugar level. So I would say that it is not all can practice, but we will need to see case by case.
Yes. Okay, then I think that's all the questions that we have for today. Thank you so much, everyone who has asked questions, and thank you so much, Miss Tin Mei Yan, Columbia Asia Hospital Klang's dietitian, for making time to be with us and answering all the questions, addressing the topic of diets for diabetics. Okay, so inshallah, we'll see all of you again in another episode of Doctors Go Live on Columbia Asia Facebook. Thank you, Miss Tin. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Okay, nice.